This is a video for those of you who want to be entrepreneurs. Most people don't want to be entrepreneurs, they just want to make money. Most people don't want to start businesses, they just don't want to work for somebody else. There's a big difference there, and this video is for those of you who want to build businesses. My answer would be different to somebody who doesn't want to be an entrepreneur, doesn't want to have a real business. If you're just looking for a way to make money today and what will work for the next several years, there's another video of mine that you should watch. It's about how I made 6 figures a year from my college dorm room, and we'll link to it around this video. So that's a great primer for those of you who are like, hey, just tell me what to do in order to make money, in order to make an extra $50,000 to $100,000 a year in a way that I'll enjoy and that will give me freedom. That's the best video for you to watch. This video is about what is the best business opportunity moving forward. Now, a bunch of people have a bunch of different opinions about what the best type of business that you should start. And everybody has their reasons for why they think that their flavor is the best flavor. And here's the truth. The reason why everybody thinks that their business idea is the best business idea is because it's what worked for them. And guess what? The same is true for me. I'm gonna tell you what worked for me, made me more than $10 million in my career, and I'm gonna share that with you because I think that it's the best opportunity for entrepreneurs who have a long-term vision, who are willing to give this at least 3 years, and that want to build something real that adds value to the world, adds value to customers' lives. And I consider something a real business when it can be sold, when you can walk away from the business. It's not freedom if you're trapped in it for your entire career. So you should at least have the option to sell the business, and I think this is the best opportunity to do that. Also, this isn't a video about what the best sector is or the best niche market is. We can talk about a few that are hot, but I've covered in several different videos business ideas that I would start if I had all the time in the world, as well as what I think the biggest emerging markets will be over the next couple of years. And you can find those videos somewhere around here as well. And finally, this is not a video about what career is the best to go into, which, by the way, if you're young and in college or fresh out of college, I would get really obsessed with decentralized finance right now. Not because there's a ton of business opportunities in there, although there might be, but because it's an emerging industry that is going to make a major splash over the next few years. And it's really easy to make a lot of money getting into an emerging industry that is still growing in its infancy. When we're looking at what the best opportunity in the world is, that is the industry that I think will really change a lot of lives over the next few years. But I don't think it's the best business to start right now. It's too early and the industry has not matured to the point where anyone can build a business in that sector. That day might come. It might come when anybody can be a bank and they can have their own specialty lending focus. And that would be really interesting for the DeFi sector to popularize. But it's not there yet. And that's not the best opportunity right now. I think the best opportunity in the world for most new entrepreneurs is to build brands for very specific audiences. If you've been following my content for any length of time, this is nothing new to you. I've been talking about this and yelling about this for years. But I still get the question about whether or not it's still the best opportunity for entrepreneurs to break in. And I say that if you're an entrepreneur, meaning you want to build businesses and you have at least a 3-year time horizon, yes, it's still the best opportunity in the world. But there are changes in the marketplace that, if you're aware of them, make that a more exciting opportunity than if you're not aware of them. Because if you look at most of the people who are sharing stuff on YouTube or podcasts or have courses about this, they're still talking about how to make money on Amazon or how to drop ship or like what niche products you should sell on AliExpress or Amazon. I don't think that's the best opportunity. That might have been the best opportunity 7 or 8 years ago, but that's not the opportunity today. A lot of people will correctly judge the physical product space by saying, well, there's all these people who are trying to get into it and everybody's selling on Amazon right now. And that's true. There's way more competition today. There's way more entrepreneurs trying to get in and sell the same stuff. And that's not what I advocate. It's what I've never advocated. It's what I have said that entrepreneurs should stay away from because it's not where the puck is going. The puck is not in selling what everybody else is selling. The puck is not in trying to be a great Amazon seller. The puck is in building very targeted brands for a specific group of people, and then layering in Amazon and Shopify and all of these other tools that exist. And that is the best opportunity in the world right now to become a full-time entrepreneur. There are 3 trends happening in the space right now that most people don't know about. But if you do know about them, you'll see, yeah, this really is the best opportunity in the world right now. Now, I want to walk you through those 3 trends that are happening right now. The first trend that most people don't know about is building brands around influencers. Now, if you look at the business landscape and you look at what celebrities are doing, a lot of them are leaving their careers, or at least not acting as much, and they're going and they're starting their own businesses. Ryan Reynolds is a perfect example of this. He has that wireless company and he has the tequila brand, and he's a partner and an investor in a bunch of physical product brands. Athletes are now out earning their salaries by starting brands or investing in brands. You see this happening across the board, where now people who have followings are wanting to get into having their own business, and it just makes sense why. A lot of athletes have their careers cut short, and so where they end up making their most wealth is by having interest in businesses. The way that you get rich is not by having a high salary, it's by having ownership in businesses that get valued for a lot of money. That's where wealth is built. So if we take a page out of their playbook, I think the best opportunity in the whole world right now is for entrepreneurs to build brands around those influencers that don't have the ability to do it for themselves right now. What that might look like is partnering with that blogger who has 30,000 email subscribers and gets 15,000 unique visitors a month talking about gardening, and going to them and saying, hey, I noticed that you are partnering as an affiliate with these gardening products. Do you want to create a partnership where we build a gardening brand together? I'll handle all of the manufacturing and the marketing on Amazon and the price testing and all of that. I just need you to promote it. Let me have access to the email list. We'll promote it. I'll do the stuff on social media. We'll use your audience. I'll build the business and we become partners. I own 80%, you own 20%. I'm gonna build this into a $10 million a year company. When we sell this, you're gonna make $2 million. That's a powerful position for you as an entrepreneur to take and to create partnerships with people who have audiences. One of my favorite structures for this, and this is something that I walk some of our students through inside of the Capitalism Incubator, is having a core influencer and then having a few sub-influencers that are all supporting the same business. Imagine for a second that you had one anchor influencer who had 100,000 followers or 100,000 email subscribers, and then that person was able to pick 4 more people that they brought into the business that each owned a point of equity in the company. With that, you've got 5 people who are all incentivized to promote the business. And when you've got a great product idea and you have 5 people who have influence and audience, it becomes really, really fast and easy for you to get that product to the point where it's profitable enough to build a business around. I talk about in my book how you just need 4 products that sell 25 sales a day at a $30 price point for you to have a $1 million business. That's 100 sales a day times $30, $3,000 a day. That's like $1.09 million a year or something like that, revenue. And that's enough to get started and having a really successful business. Having access to people who have followers or email subscribers is the fastest way to get a product on the map. It can really set something on fire so you can stoke that fire over the next year or so. So that's the opportunity that hardly anybody's talking about. A lot of people are talking about how to build personal brands. They're talking about investing. They're talking about drop shipping. But there are very few good brands that are approaching these influencers that don't make a lot of money and don't have the opportunities that the tier A celebrities do. So if you create those opportunities, there are lots and lots of influencers out there who would love to own 5 to 15 points of equity in a business in exchange for them promoting a new business idea that can be an 8-figure exit. That's what we specialize in teaching people to do inside the Capitalism Incubator, and I think it's the best opportunity in the world right now. The second trend that's happening that most people don't know about is that valuations on brands are stupid high. I mean, stupid high. Now, the reason for this is because big brands, like publicly traded companies, they can't innovate faster than small entrepreneurs like you. They're too big, they're too bloated, they got lots of things going on. So when a new innovative brand comes out with a product idea that is getting a certain segment of the marketplace, the big brand buys the little brand. The best example for this is RX Bar. RX Bar was started by a guy named Peter in, I believe, his parents' basement, and he was making a food bar for his CrossFit buddies. This is a paleo food bar. That's it. It was for a very specific group of people. That's why it's called the RX Bar. It's a CrossFit reference. Well, as that grew in the CrossFit community, it grew to other communities as well. And then Kellogg's said, hey, they've got a hold on this part of the marketplace, let's buy them. And they did for $600 million. Now, are you gonna make $600 million? Probably not, but it doesn't matter because you could do 1% of that and be just fine. That's what I did. I started a business with $600. I grew it to the point where it was worth $16 million, and I sold a majority stake of it for the most amount of money that I've ever seen in my life. And I sold that 4 years ago when valuations were lower than they are today. Valuations are higher today because e-commerce is the only game in town. Especially since 2020, you have all of these big brands who realize that they're playing from behind and are trying to get a foothold on e-commerce and Amazon and internet brands and influencers and all this stuff that you know about because you watch YouTube videos about it, and they're hungry for those brands. And so if you do a halfway decent job of positioning yourself for a core group of customers, there are big brands that want to buy you. If you look at, oh my goodness, Laird's Super Creamer, it's like this tiny little keto coffee brand. And they sell like low sugar products and they don't even make money. They're not even profitable. They're publicly traded and they were at one time valued at $400 million, which by the way is stupid. Like it's way too high. It shouldn't be valued that high. But it was. I can't sit here and argue with the marketplace. The marketplace was valuing it at $400 million. We can sit there and say, it's not worth that much. It's really not worth that much. Guess what? It is. People are paying for that valuation. And we can go over example after example after example of internet brand that is smashing it right now and getting stupid valuations. So if you do reasonably well, you can have an absurd exit. For example, I have a side project right now. It's a nootropic company called Switch. And we have our first product that's in beta right now. We're still getting feedback from our customers about it. But I told my team this and they were like, oh, I see the vision now. It's simply this. If we have 3 products that cost $50 each, which is my target, and then we create a bundle out of them where all 3 of them can be purchased for $120 a month. Well, follow these numbers for a second. When we get 3,500 people on AutoShip, which just requires us to be aggressive in our marketing, when we've got 3,000 to 4,000 people on AutoShip paying $120 a month, that business is doing $4 to $5 million a year. And that's an 8-figure exit. We can sell that baby for $10 million and have a nice chunk of change as a result of building that company with one focus, getting 3,500 people on AutoShip at a certain price point. That's it. Not everybody's gonna love our product, but I know that 3,500 people will love our product. Not everybody's gonna be a raving fan of that, but our job is to get in front of the 3,500 people who would be raving fans of this. When you approach business like that, and you can choose that very hungry target person that you're after, you can get a few thousand of them, and that's enough to have a smash of a business. It's almost as effective as smashing the like button on this video. If that like button is still gray, It's impossible to have an 8-figure exit. You can only have an 8-figure exit and make a lot of money if you turn the like button blue. So do that right now so that you too can be a successful entrepreneur. The third trend that a lot of people don't know about is that still to this day, most brands, most physical product brands are bad at internet marketing. Their copy isn't very good. They don't understand upsell sequences. They don't understand long-term lifetime customer value. These are things that they just don't understand. They're product sellers, they're brand builders, which, by the way, amazing skill, but they're not good marketers. So there's still an opportunity to get into even the competitive spaces and have halfway decent marketing and do really well with good copy and good conversions and good upsells and aggressive marketing in order to acquire customers and promote to them long term. There's very few brands who are good at influencer marketing. There's very few brands who are good at running internet advertising. But when they're good at it, they hit really quickly. When they're good at it, then they grow at scale. And the real secret is very simply, can we acquire customers at about break even so we can build this big giant group of customers that we can promote more products to over time? When the entrepreneur is thinking like that, I know they're gonna win. When they're thinking about how much money can I make from this ad, what's my margin on this first sale, I know they're gonna have a hard time. But when they're playing to acquire as many customers as possible, even if they don't make money, even if they lose money, because they know that they're gonna promote another product and another product and another product, that's when they grow very quickly. If you combine all three of these trends together, you can see how there's still lots of opportunity to be had building brands that can be sold. If you partner with an influencer where you have an audience and you can get a product out there really quickly, and you combine that with aggressive acquisition so that you can release product 2 and 3 and 4, this becomes a snowball that grows very quickly. And when you know that valuations are really high for businesses that do that, it becomes easy to see why it's still the best opportunity in the world to build a physical products brand online for a very specific group of customers. So what do you do with this information? You watch this whole video, you know my opinion about what's the greatest opportunity to build a business right now. What do you do with this? Well, there's an awesome quote by the billionaire founder of Jet.com. His name is Mark Lowry. And he says that all businesses still come down to the entrepreneur's vision, enough capital, and the people that you partner with. These three things are what we teach our clients and students to do inside of the Capitalism Incubator. We put a tremendous amount of effort into getting them clear on their vision, and they have to actually pitch it to a group of advisors and potential investors. Even if they don't take the money, we just want to know they're really clear in their vision. Then we introduce them to partnerships that can help them get funded if they need it. And it's all about who you're partnering with. So that's like knowing what agencies you're gonna work with, knowing what influencers you might partner with, what strategic investors might you create a relationship with that can help you grow. When you can answer those questions, have a clear vision, enough capital, and the right people, that's what you do with this. You take the idea that's in your brain, you take this thing and you're like, conceptually, I get it. Now I wanna have a clear vision. I need to have the right people and enough capital to ensure that I can do this the right way. That's what you do with this. And if you'd like some help, it's what we do. We help entrepreneurs build 7-figure businesses that they can sell. We put them through a process that we call 8-figure exits, and it's inside of our incubator. And our incubator is where we bring in resources and people to help people grow businesses under this structure. And you can find out all about that and what we do and what it costs and some of our success stories over at capitalism.com/inc, capitalism.com/INC. That's where we put all of the information about how this process works. And if you want to work with us on it, awesome. We would be really happy to work with another entrepreneur with a long-term vision who wants to have a big exit, because that's who we like to work with. I'm Ryan Moran with capitalism.com. I help entrepreneurs build 7-figure businesses that they can sell. And I hope you found value in this video. If you did, drop a note in the comments. My goal is to be the guy on the internet that actually demystifies the real ideas and the real opportunities in the world. So if you found value in this video, please let me know in the comments and make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope to see you next time. Take care.